What's up, everybody? Today we're gonna be looking at a popular healthy brand. Unhealthy. Yeah. Oh, face cam. Oh, wait. We almost forgot to give credit. Brandon Shepheard. This boy did this Chad guy made this. He also made popular unhealthy junk food brands healthy. Seem healthy. Let me open the light. Actually, I don't need it. Curtains. People might see us or something. I don't know. Oh, fuck with anything. I hope YouTube didn't hear that. Now, it's not better. Okay. It's 16 o'clock, but I don't know why. It's like sunny and stuff. Okay, let's begin.
In a previous video, I redesigned junk food as healthy snacks, and you all seem to love it. So in this video, I'm turning that upside down by rebranding healthy foods as junk food to make scarfing down that pureed broccoli a little easier. First up, we have Green Giant's whole kernel corn. Now, threatening you with a 60-foot-tall, steroid-abusing Shrek is a heck of a way to get you to eat their canned corn. But I want to take a more fun approach to encourage you to buy this. So I'm going to grab another familiar green character from one of Jim Carrey's biggest hits, The Mask. Reshaping his face into a new
part is where I even
something that's a bit more quirky and fun than the original to better match the
part is where I even is the real reason why I decided
but make it even more extreme. I'll even shave down his skull to get those cartoony proportions I'm looking for. Now our new giant has to be happy, of course, because he gets to live off of nothing but pre-cooked yellow vegetables. We don't want to throw the corn pieces on here. People realize they're just buying boring vegetables. So to make it seem fun and junky, I'm going to make his teeth out of corn. Now, you might think that's a stupid idea, but I'll remind you that many people with yellow teeth have accomplished
that means they eat like a lot of sweets,
and that's all. Going to hear people from way up in the air. You just need to situate those on his head and make it a little fatter to match everything else.
Now, I am like that. That means this giant yellow teeth, actually corn, is because he ate a lot of stuff. By the way, it's gonna look a lot like.
Get these eyes to resemble something a little more human, and get this hair to look less like a blob of jelly and more like hair. Put some gums between those teeth and add a tad more detail to the ears. Now, once we have a little green on the skin, we're ready to tackle the shadows. When it comes to something complex like this face, it can often be really helpful to draw contour lines over top of it to help you better visualize it as a 3D object. And once that
wireframe is this is Hulk, man. This is the Hulk himself.
Where the shadows should go. And you might notice that I've made sure to choose a lighting direction that gives us a lot of contrast between the darker left side of the face and the much brighter right side.
That looks like Donkey Kong, Peppino, and Hulk just actually Shrek. Hulk morphed into Hulk.
Now I'll add a blurred version of that same shadow to give it a smoother look, and to tie in with the super black hair and mouth, I'll add some really dark shadow areas at key points around the face. And wipe off one layer of shading when we can have two. Honestly, I really dig this kind of look because it just seems to help give the entire character a lot of extra volume.
Turkish, but I don't watch Turkish videos that much, so.
As well as areas of the skin that are close together. And you can even further push out that form.
It looks more like Shrek now, actually, but it's still Hulk.
I'm going to add some ridges to help him feel a bit more blocky. Lastly, I feel like no giant has perfect skin, so some blemishes and blotches are in order. Let's get the eyes in real quick, and I'll just give those a cartoony green iris to match his skin with some small shines for a bit of life. Now
it's looking at my skull.
So corn tends to have these little pits in them, which is great because your average person's tooth does as well. Now, admittedly, these will probably look closer to gold teeth than corn, but my main goal really is to just make them look pretty. A touch of softer shading, just like the skin. Some subtle bits like between the teeth.
Check something.
They won't look gold without some...
Check something. Pro, yes, Pro. I don't buy it. No, we're going. Okay, these are the only games I will play, and just it's gonna sit there like nothing. Cheats too.
Without some big sparkling shines all across the front. I'll take care of the
bro, it looks like he has golden
with some
teeth.
black shadow to help separate all the different
But it's
colors.
actually
Obviously, this can't be a
corn.
green giant product.
It's a Hulk.
But now we do have green on green, so I think a blue accent will help our buddies stand out.
It's Hulk. They're gonna get sued if they do that.
I've
Essentially,
recently seen several illustrations use tiny little highlights.
that's how it is, right?
Not so matte, and I actually really like
the company is gonna get sued if they use this
Now, when it comes to the hair,
guy.
we can leave the majority of it black, but because the giant is green, I'll paint a little sliver of green lighting in here, and that's a trick a lot of cartoons use to help a character's black hair better match the rest of their body. Just like Shigo has a green hair outline instead of a white one to match her green suit. Of course, it'll be blue over here though because of that accent light, and a little touch of reflective light will give it extra volume. Now, my big idea here is to make it look like our jolly green giant has popped his head out through the wall of the can, similar to an old cartoon. I'll just make everything inside the can black, since the light can't get in anyways, which will also save me from having to paint him a body. The metal in this image kind of feels too soft to me, so I'm thinking some sharper reflections will help it better match the character's cell shape.
Okay, but you have to make it different, bro. Mr. Brandon Shepheard, Mr. Brandon Shepheard, you have to change the thing.
Let's get the green giant name up
because
here.
if you don't, then people
help make the head
use
really
this.
feel like it's popping off the can.
It's gonna be.
A can of
They're gonna be sued for using Hulk.
That feels way more like a
Golden bites.
And our giant does have golden teeth after all. Well, we've gone from a corn product your mother wishes you would eat to something that looks like your next dentist bill will send you straight to the poorhouse. Next up, I'm going to try turning sun-made raisins into junk food. And
I don't know raisins were.
Today's video, Kittle. It's basically a one-stop shop design.
Raisins. Raisinsin hurma olduğunu bilmiyordum ben. Evet. Okay, back to English.
And for non-professional designers, they've got a huge library of templates to start you off on the right foot. You can change all the colors of the design super easily, choose different fonts
Set the right foot,
match your brand, and even adjust all the warpings of the individual elements, which is super cool. Or if you're like me, you can just use the templates for inspiration, because I'm really digging this vintage style. So I'll just grab this little sun man here, adjust his colors slightly, and cover his current face up, because I want to find a new one. And out of all of these, I think I like this mouth and these eyes. Kittle even has masks that I can use to spread the eyes further apart. Now, instead of raisins, which sounds way too healthy, I'm going to call them grape gems to make them seem like a grape-flavored candy. Let's get some funky vintage fonts for these. I think the grape text should be purple, and I'll choose this 3D text style to pop it off the package. They've also got this really cool line effect that I can use to have like a blue light shining up in a retro style. I'll give gems a more subtle version of that and leave it white for a bit of contrast. Now, the original brand is Sun-Made, as you can see by the made on the package. I'm going to turn it into Sun-Made, so it's like our happy little sun character is making these grape candies himself.
Slavery. That'll definitely count as like slavery.
Purple so that text really pops.
I don't know why I thought that.
It's like
they're making him labor. They put him as mascots, showing him as like the face of the brand. You are making him work labor. So I think you can hear me like that. Okay. People like me might think they put his face as a mascot on the brand and use him for labor to make the brand the product.
Illustrations, or I can use their AI tool to create one in several different styles.
What? Stop using AI, bro. Your whole career depends on
like a logo or a product shot.
Making it yourself,
I can
bro.
place that right between the two words. Then I can warp this text to make it look like it's hugging the grape, a little sparkle coming from our grape gem, and I'll even throw in a few drops of grape juice to make it feel super delicious. Now let's give all our text a shadow, a little halftone burst behind the sun, and then one of my favorite parts about Kittle is all the cool textures they have, like this noise texture that will give our design some grit, or this halftone pattern that will bring the style of all of our elements together perfectly.
Zero originality in this.
For my junk food
the eyes are Mickey Mouse. The mouth is Mickey Mouse.
That you can use
it's
for any of your designs, and all the lighting and warping is done for you. Kittle really is an amazing tool for beginners, and even a great way for more seasoned designers to create designs quickly if they need to. You can try Kittle out today completely free with my link down below, and use the code Brandon to get 50% off your first month of Pro. So the shriveled fruits that used to ruin every cookie they were in are now a sweet grape treat.
It's not heaven outside. Don't worry about it.
Up next we have
I just wanted some light heavens out. That's why people don't go out.
Can't handle plain water, but they're health conscious enough to not drink 10 cans of Pepsi a day. Now I've chosen the lemon flavor here, and I'm going to turn it into a sugar-stuffed, epic-looking energy drink. We'll start off with a crisp, modern font for the logo, and according to science, adding extra
what is
bits
sparkling
will help it
water?
feel more energetic. I also think I'd prefer a curved text instead of a straight one, just for some personality. And of course, every cool energy drink obviously has to have a tilted logo. I do like the blue of the original text, but I'll go with more of a neon version of that color. And heck, maybe we can just make this thing a straight-up neon sign. If I can just finagle a nice shiny metal frame for it. Now you can't just have a 2D sign. And it's honestly amazing how a few shadows in the crevices and a couple highlights
gonna run out of time.
gives us a pretty
The maximum, the limit for not having a verified account is 15 minutes.
I can't not put a metallic texture on a
I
sign.
have.
These types of signs are usually darker around the edges, and that lip will cast a shadow too.
4
Finally, a
minutes.
weathered texture across that whole thing, and we can get this.
Yeah, I'm
lit
gonna
up
get
properly.
on
Personally,
the
I
code,
think
bro.
nothing says energy drink quite like a giant.
Can we make that at least
with a
20,
very
bro?
Similar process. I'll make that
Like
a
YouTube.
3D piece of metal too, with some shiny shines of its own, and I even
Make
found
it
this
17,
epic metal grate texture
please.
to use over the surface. Now, if you've been wondering where the law was, well, there it is. Nice and small to bring maximum focus on the main name. Now, maybe it's just me, but it feels like every proper energy drink has a super dark background, which means we need a nice bright object to help our title pop out. Since this was a lemon-flavored drink, it just seemed obvious to stick a lemon behind the logo, and it's even at the perfect slanted angle to make it look like the sign is resting on top of it. I do want to accentuate some of the details, though, to make sure we have a nice contrast between all the different parts of the lemon. A few extra shines here or there, and some little pits on the peel to beef up.
But he's doing pretty
I still
good
think we
job,
driven
bro.
home the energy aspect of this drink quite enough yet.
The first
so
one
I'm
was
just
like
gonna surround
talk,
this
that's why I
entire
even started the
darn lemon
video.
with lightning strikes.
Now I'm just
There's
getting
so
some
much
content.
power built up
I'm
here,
not
it just
trying to
can't
steal
help
it.
escape in
I do talk
literally
over
every
it.
direction. Kind of
I'm
like
sorry,
those
bro.
giant Tesla coil setups. All that
Oh, but
with
I
a
like,
good amount of
I
extra lighting
gave
to our main
credit,
logo
like
now. And a little science fact
Brandon
for you.
Shepheard.
Electric
Go
current
check it
through
out
water tends to
yourself.
produce a
Nah!
bubbles, which just makes this
Not
whole
now.
scene feel
Finish the
even
video.
more
Then
lively and
you
exciting.
must
Lastly,
go
I can't
to the
imagine a more
original
appropriate
video.
flavor name for this drink.
I don't know
than
how
lemon
I'm gonna
balls. So we've turned an
actually
unsuspecting tropical seltzer water
give
into
credit.
an amped-up fever dream that Nikola Tesla
This is
and lemon
mobile
lovers
after
everywhere
all.
would
I'm
be
not
proud
watching
of.
on
Then we have
Samsung
Cliff
internet.
Bars, which are designed to give you a
Samsung
quick
internet.
boost of energy when you're working out. Now, it's hard
And
to
I
say
have
that
to
these are
verify my
actually
account, I
healthy
guess.
for you, but they certainly look it since their entire brand is centered around rock climbing, which is a sport that requires a decent amount of energy. Now, I feel like this logo has a lot in common with Clifford. It's big, red, and draws all of your attention. So I want to keep that same vibe with the junk food version and use a big, blocky red font for Cliff. If you've learned nothing else from this video, it's that I really like 3D fonts, and I think they look fun. This underlighting is just to add a little drama, by the way. Give that whole thing a stroke so it looks nice and cartoony, and I'll slap bar right underneath that. But let's go with yellow so it stands out from Cliff. Now, you see how these outlines are perfectly smooth and straight? Well, for a high-energy junk food bar, I don't think we want that. So we'll go with a super rugged outline instead. You know, something that looks like a toddler's wild scribblings. But when a professional does it, it's art. And what if we made the text actually look a little bit like rock? Maybe even add in some cracks to a few letters, and top it all off with some motion lines to make the whole thing look like it's shaking or crumbling or something.
The sea looks like it's taking a bite out of. I'm not. Oh yeah, I'm not.
But of course,
I am not actually going out of time just
and if there's one thing
because I wasted a little bit of time just talking.
So the plan is, instead of making this mountain out of rock, what if we made it out of chocolate? Since the original flavor is chocolate brownie. But it was imperative that we use sharp edges and corners for everything here, because a big, smooth, curvy brown mound might too closely resemble a pile of excretions.
It's pretty clever, actually, like making people think it's chocolate, giving him a energy bar.
Snow caps are made of. Maybe just a lighter variety of chocolate or something.
Zesty bar?
This looks like a perfect spot for effects, because characters, even if they're a big chocolate mountain, always bring a lot of personality to the party. Now a few highlights here or there, a couple of finishing details, and our buddy is wrapped up. In order to make him
I
feel
just got some
super
chills
big,
on my back.
I'll make it look like he's tall enough to
I am not kidding. I think there's a ghost in this house that just messes with me.
Willy Wonka and add in a chocolate river too. I'll just run it through the clouds coming out of this cave, and I think this is the perfect area for the flavor text to go. But instead of chocolate brownie, I'm going with Choco Overload, because that certainly describes this scene. And I think
that says
make it look like it's floating down the river.
Coco.
Big blue sky behind him, and lastly
Choco
some little
now.
sunbursts to show
I
off
think
his
it's solid.
vibrant joy to the rest of the world. And so we've gone from a quick snack for the adventurous athlete to something that will ensure you'll be too large to ever get off the couch again. Now, if you want to watch me do the opposite of this video and turn your favorite junk food products healthy,
we'll do
watch
that
this video
later,
right here.
or actually never. Okay, bye.